Welcome Twitch chat and YouTube to the Vintage Challenge. Sorry that there was no recording put up to YouTube on Wednesday. There was a bit of an issue where Magic Online was updated and everything broke. So Lavinia was broken, Dredge was broken, like actually broken, not just like the normal powerfulness, like the card stopped all non-creature spells basically. So Lavinia was broken, Dredge was broken, and there was an extremely unbearable amount of lag between actions. Um, Now it is Saturday. Both the Dredge and Lavinia things have been patched, and the lag is still kind of there, but it doesn't seem to be as bad for me as it was on Wednesday. So we're gonna try to stream today. This deck has a lot of clicks, so I do need to play at a speed that is probably faster than normal. Just because of the extra time between registering clicks, because there is still some lag for me. But we'll see what happens. There's a typo in the title. What kind of typo in the title? Thanks, Bigoose.
Lag is a feature of MotoCat
I actually
HD.
don't typically have lag on Magic Online, but recently it is. Strixhaven takeover in Vintage. What was the Strix? Done. Wonderful. God bless. Yeah, so what is this deck? This deck is, I took the Luris Jeskai PO lists, which are like a pretty cool little way to do PO, where you get to play Lavinias and Sprite Dragons as your way to win, and you get to play access into white cards, and Remora basically is a big one. You get to play a very typical Luris PO deck from back when Luris was broken. And the reason I'm playing this deck is because I felt like it was the best way for PO to play Expressive Iteration. I thought Expressive Iteration was best played in a big blue shell. That's something that has a lot of zero-cost artifacts that you can play off of Expressive Iteration. Basically, you look at 3 cards, one goes in your hand, one goes on the bottom, and one gets exiled, and you can play it till end of turn. So
Unrestrict Tinker when.
It's best if you have 0 drops that you can play with this, or land drops to use. That way, your Expressive Iteration is going to draw you 2 cards more often than not. Obvious downsides to this list is you do not get to play Tinker, Mentor, or Narset. But I think this is a really cool and powerful set of card draw that you can put inside of your blue-red decks. So this is how we built it. All good. Let's go to round 1 here. We need to make sure we use our time efficiently. As I said, there's a little bit of lag still for me. This is going to be round 1 versus Killer SUV. I don't know what Killer's been up to recently, but I have a cat. Well, so the idea is... Yeah, I guess that is the idea. The nice thing about Expressive Iteration, obviously, is it's blue, so it pitches to Force of Will. The bad thing about Expressive Iteration is it's blue, so it gets hit by Pyroblast. But in this version, you're pretty overloaded on Pyroblast targets, so I don't think it's as big a deal. It's a nice card that it gets around the Narset's effect because it's not drawing you any cards. It is a very prohibitive casting cost, which is problematic, to say the least. But I think that the card is pretty strong, and so far it's tested very well for me. I'm 7 wins, 1 loss with this deck in leagues. I went 4-1 losing to Dredge in the first league, and I'm 3-0 in the second league. No, Lavinia has been patched. Lavinia is fine now. I didn't experience that chaos. I actually had to undo my Expressive Iteration in one of the matches I played today, and it did not restart the game, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. The bug made Lavinia make it so you couldn't cast non-creature spells that cost any number. Well, you could cast 0s, but they got countered. So Lavinia won the game on the spot, basically. So that was the big bug. That bug has been fixed, so... Yes, I agree. The sorcery speed on Expressive Iteration is probably necessary to keep it balanced. But another nice part about it being sorcery speed is you're incentivized to play it on your turn, and you can actually play the land as the second card, like the card that goes into exile. You can, if it's a land, you can play it. It's not cast. So that, incentivizes you to do it when you haven't hit your land drop yet. So you can take the best card, put it in your hand, put a land into exile, and play the land for turn. So Yes, also the cage bug has been fixed. So it's been a very active week for Magic Online. Um, yeah, that's kind of the whole shebang. Um, we're gonna definitely try to play as many Strixhaven cards in the near future to test them out in Vintage. Matt already posted a 5-0 with a really cool Sedgemoor Witch deck, which is a Magecraft card. I've seen a bunch of people in leagues with the Chain of Smog combos in Magecraft. So, and then I also played a league with the Angel of Ruin from Commander 2021. So there's a lot of exciting things happening. So we're gonna try to test out a bunch of Strixhaven cards and see what sticks. I think we're gonna do Expressive Iteration today, and then my sleep schedule is a little weird, so there's a possibility we run back a Vintage Challenge tonight, and maybe we'll try Matt's deck or something. We'll see what happens. Oh, we did just hit 69 players. Nice. But that does mean that we will play 7 rounds. Killer is, I think, double queuing some other event, which is why they haven't shown up yet. But I had a lot to talk about, so I don't really mind just talking about those kind of things while we wait for Killer to show up. I guess we could look at the deck a little bit more as we wait as well. Um, so yeah, this is basically what I did is I did take an active Jeskai PO list with Luris, and then I switched out like preordains and changed the mana base so to try to make it so it's easier to cast Expressive Iteration. And I don't know if 4 Expressive Iteration is the right number of them, but it does let us try it out more. So, no. All right, so I do think that this is a keep. I'm gonna go Ruby Petal Expressive Iteration, and I guess if it gets forced, it looks pretty bad for me, but I mean, the upside is pretty high, right? Yeah, I probably can. Trying to figure out how. Manage poll. No, not manage poll. Start prediction. Start prediction. Home team wins the match. Start prediction. There you go, chat. Have fun. What the hell was I doing? Oh, right. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go Ruby. Like obviously Petal being a one use kind of lends towards my opponent countering Expressive Iteration, but it makes sense for me to cast Expressive Iteration after 2 Moxen because then I can still play the land kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, I definitely would like to be playing Mentor and Tinker in this deck, but I decided that I wanted to play Luris because I think red is already leaning you into. I find red typically leans you into like this Jeskai setup with Pyroblast and Sprite Dragon, and if you're gonna play Sprite Dragon, you might as well play Luris. So, all right, so this is perfect. I'm gonna put the Soul Ring into my hand, the Delta on the I actually gonna put the Volcanic on the bottom and the Delta into exile, and then I can play the Delta. I'm not gonna crack it yet. No need. Like I might crack for white here and get a Lavinia next turn. Actually, I'm gonna crack it now and get a white because I can get a Luris into my hand. That was a pretty solid turn 1, but I don't have any counter magic, so if my opponent just combo kills me, I do die. Mono white Eldrazi. They got baited. All right, so we're going to be extremely far ahead in this game. I don't think you can even keep that hand then. Yeah. I mean, mono white can be fine, but they were on the draw and they didn't have a turn 1 Thalia, so. Now we need to figure out what the best way to do this is. So I still have the ability to snap another PO back. think I'm going to. Then we need to figure out the so this deck does not combo as well as the other PO decks because it's more of a mid-rangey shell. But 2 Sprite Dragons should probably do it. If I go red, well, I guess this one actually should just be white, Luris, Lotus. And then blue, red. Oh, I kind of screwed this up. Was there a way that I could have? No, there's no way for me to get blue, red twice. I don't have a white. Kind of hate how I did this then. All right, whatever. I guess we're just gonna go with 1 Sprite Dragon. I think I made a slight sequencing error at some point here where I don't know. I did something wrong. I don't know what it was though. Don't really think it matters very much. I couldn't snap PO again because I ran out of oh, I ran out of blue sources. I want this Seal of Fire, but I don't have another red source this turn besides this opal, which I would have to draw. So if I drew the opal and then, well, I guess I could draw the PO. I'm still short. So I guess maybe I should have played this and spun beforehand. I don't know. There were definitely ways that I could have made this better. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the opal so that I can play a Lavinia just as an extra insurance of this game. I definitely don't think I sequenced this anywhere close to correct, but it's okay. Yeah, I don't like what I did in this game, but or I don't like the way I sequenced the second half. Everything after Snap PO I don't really like as much, but it's okay. No, if Lavinia was still bugged, I would not be playing it. That is not something that I'm doing. All right, so next turn, what we can do is go Sprite Dragon, draw top, draw Seal of Fire, Seal of Fire, Mom, rebuy, Seal of Fire, Mom again. Or even if they play a Lavinia, I can Seal of Fire the Lavinia. I don't even know if I want to show them Seal of Fire because it just seems like a poor use of things. Oh, that's fun. Just gonna snap a PO. They know I have snap, so it's kind of silly, but so it looks like they're playing the kind of stock death and taxes list that I don't really like very much. I think your deck should be a little bit more synergistic. I'm not really a big fan of Mom in Vintage at all. If you want to play Mom, I would rather play Mom sideboard. People just don't play enough removal for you to care about putting like a 1-drop that doesn't do very much into your deck. I would much rather you go all in on Moxen and just try to play a turn 1 Thalia of Cavern as much as possible. And when you're looking at turn 1 Thalia off of Cavern, you should be thinking, well, I want to play more humans that get cast off of Cavern. Basically, I'm just not a huge fan of the way that this mono white deck is constructed, and it's not really on Killer SUV because they just copied a successful mono white list more than likely. But I think that the way like the list that Edo played and some of the other mono white lists that I've seen are just not how I think the deck should be constructed. You're already putting yourself on an underpowered deck compared to the rest of the field, and so your cards need to be faster and more impactful. And this just doesn't seem like it's it. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you what kind of deck list I assume my opponent is playing. Vintage, death and taxes. There was a Luris, right? There was a Luris. So there's like some lists like this, but it's just uh so basically they could cavern even in this deck they could cavern on cleric, which is kind of interesting, but they just don't play cavern. Um I just think this list is not the greatest. Like I think Mom is a sideboard card in vintage. It's a weird deck. A weird deck. I do think Ghost Quarter is quite good in vintage. That's for sure. Hey, Nathan. I just think that this is not how I would build mono white. What I would do in mono white is I would take the 5-color humans list and strip out the 5-color. There's no way I'm not registering 4 Cavern of Souls. That's the first thing. I want 4 Cavern of Souls and I want Max Moxen. This one does actually have Max Moxen, but this is just like I don't think it's very strong. What's the? I'm trying to find like you should build it more like White Eldrazi, but I don't at this point I actually don't think you need White Eldrazi. With if you have like Luminarch Aspirant and I don't know even Thalia's Lieutenant and you can play Paulo, like I just don't see any reason to play this kind of strategy without it, you know. All right, so these all go on the stack, and it just doesn't matter because I have a Snapcaster Mage. Snap, pay 1, snap, PO these 6 cards back, replay them all, and it's lethal with Sprite Dragon. Yeah, so basically, this game was over on turn 1 because I played like 6 spells, and my opponent went Snow-Covered Plains Mother of Runes. Kataki is okay versus exactly shops, and it's not even the best versus shops. I think it's just fine. I think Kataki is like pretty bad against PO for exactly this reason. Obviously not exactly snap PO, but just being if I have enough mana to PO on my upkeep, Kataki is doing nothing. Unfortunately, this match hasn't given anyone very much content because Killer is piloting another match at the same time, and I've taken all the game actions, but all right, so we actually have a decent amount of removal in this build. I have a lightning bolt, I have a swords, I have a balance, I have a main deck Seal of Fire, and then there's possibilities of playing things like Seal of Cleansings. Because my opponent's going to board in Stony Silence and Deafening Silence. And Mindbreak Trap. And so then things that come out, obviously Pyroblast, dead card, Remora, dead card, Flusterstorm, dead card. These cards are not good. Maven Priest is fine because it blocks, but I don't really think it's... A lot of those cards that you used to bring in against humans that blocked are not as good anymore because of Luminarch Aspirant. Luminarch Aspirant really effectively eliminates your Ambush Vipers pretty well. So, though it's probably still better than Soul Guide Lantern. And that's kind of all the cards we can afford to bring in and out. Let's just do that. Yes. So I would agree with you, Bob. I think the best PO decks have Tinker in them, but I did feel that when trying out this card, it tended more towards a Sprite Dragon Luris deck. So that's why we're doing it today. I do think that Tinker is the best part of playing PO. It's not close. The reason that PO is super good in, or not super good. The reason that PO is a playable archetype in Vintage is because you have Tinker Citadel. In my mind. Like, you do win games by just POing for 4. Like, that's something that happens, but I don't think that makes your deck... Like, that's not something that other people in Vintage aren't matching at a power level. But, like, I think that Tinker takes, like, a PO deck from playable to being a good choice, because Tinker Citadel is just broken. You can play a PO deck without Tinker Citadel, I just think it's less good. But this deck is not exactly, like, trying to do the same things that a normal PO deck is. It's like a much more resilient low to the ground deck than a Tinker combo deck. So yeah, Citadel's dumb as fuck. Exactly. I don't think this deck is like some magical, crazy good incarnation either. I just wanted to test expressive iteration, and this was the best shell I came up with yet. And I don't think this deck is bad. Like I said, I've lost one match of 8 matches that I've played so far, and it was to Dredge, and I think my Dredge matchup is I think my Dredge matchup is quite good. I think my Dredge matchup is like but Dredge can just beat you anyways. It happens. I think Seal is like pretty fine against Dredge. It's not like the end of the world. Like you're gonna kill Chalice and Hollow One, and Leyline of the Void. I mean, obviously these are the best cards. Like just having, five recurable, one main deck, Graveyard Hate, and that comes back with Lurrus. It's pretty insane. Well, that's the thing, Wombo, is you're not really a PO deck post board versus Dredge. You're a control deck. Like you still have PO and you can still PO combo, but you're actually like a Lurrus control deck. When you build a Lurrus deck, like the goal is no longer to cast a PO. The goal is to get a Lurrus in play and loop a Tormod script every turn. So like you're changing up like your goal of the match. Okay, what do we got here? I have some fast mana. This hand does not seem particularly strong though.
Hope
If I
the
drew one
challenge
more
goes well
Moxen, it's
today.
reasonable, but I
Polaris looks
can't
fun.
counter a Thalia or anything. Thanks, name. Appreciate the 9 months. Crazy. I think this hand is should go back. If this was a Moxen, maybe I'd consider this hand. I'm gonna put this hand back. This hand's like much better. I mean, if they're still ooh, it's a rough one. That card's very good against us. So I'm gonna fetch basic island and play a soul ring. That's the best use of our resources. This game is going to be quite challenging as the turn one deafening silence is very good. Definitely another reason that I wanted to have Force of Will on turn one, but you can't just mulligan to Force of Will. They only have 2 deafening silences in their deck, so it's just a little unlucky. But our draw is still pretty strong. We're not playing repeals in this deck. No, we should have boarded in Seal of Cleansings and Chalice. They drew Chalice for turn. Interesting. Yeah, we have a Seal of Cleansing loops. But we only have 2 white lands, and they have... Jeez, okay. Kind of a annoying draw from my opponent. But what we can do here is pay the tax, get a 2-mana land, Time Walk to start. I think we want to get a red land, so pay the tax, track this. I think we want a red land, Time Walk. The problem is I'm so far from casting Lurrus because red land doesn't cast Lurrus and island doesn't cast Lurrus, which is really annoying, but and I can't play a Mox Opal, so I'm probably not playing Lurrus this game. Maybe oh, that's a good draw. So what I want to find here is a fetch land. Well, it's really annoying. Kind of need a fetch land. So what I want to find is a card to put in my hand and a land to put, or okay, perfect. Huh. So I can't play this Opal yet. Unfortunately, I think I actually have to hold this Tundra because if it gets, you think they'll wasteland me? If it gets wastelanded, I'm in pretty dire shape, aren't I? Interesting. I think they would. Hmm. I think I can just hold this Tundra. The problem with holding Tundra is I can't use my Expressive iteration efficiently. So I guess I'm gonna play this Tundra no matter what. I wonder if I'm supposed to keep Lavinia or if I want to keep Opal. The problem is I am going to go and get my Luris. So they are more incentivized to kill my Tundra, which is quite bad for me. But I think it's the correct play. I guess I don't think I'm supposed to get Opal because it's going to be so long till I can play Opal. But maybe I need to play Opal. Hmm. Even if I play, I guess I have to kill Chalice. I'm gonna put the Lavinia in my hand, Mox on the bottom, Tundra and Exile, and play the Tundra. And then I'm gonna get this Luris. It's possible that the best play there is to just put the Tundra in my hand and lose out on the card. It just feels real bad. They might not even wasteland me because they need to play creatures. That'd be the best option, yeah. Ooh, I like that. I mean, now, if I can draw a land, I'm just gonna slam a Luris. Didn't draw a land. Alright, so I definitely have to start with Seal here. I could have forced this Lumi. Maybe I should have. Um, I kind of want to just kill the Deafening Silence first. I understand that's a little greedy, but oh, come on! Ah, that's so sad. Oh, I should probably have forced this Lumi. It's just like so much worse than a Thalia, a second a Deafening Silence, Stony Silence. So, this all kind of worked out in the end. Expressive Iteration or Lavinia. I don't care about Lavinia. Yeah, that worked out real well for us. I guess I'm still almost dead though, right? Like I need to do something. I need to find, if I find a fetch land here, I get a cat. I guess I kind of would like to draw balance as well. I got punished so hard for the stupid killing of the. I mean, I still would only be able to play one card a turn. So, all right, let's see what we got here. All right, I found a fetch land, so I can pay for a fetch land. Oh, I can't. I can't. I can't. No. It doesn't work. All right, so I can put this in my hand, put Pearl in my hand. It's much better. Pearl in my hand, Sapphire to the bottom, Misty over here, play a Misty. If I were to pay this and crack my Misty, and I can't actually play Luris this turn, which is really bad. I'm gonna might just lose this game, actually. I just drew all zeros. Kind of unfortunate. Please, like, okay, that's fine. That's a really good outcome for me. Because now I can play spells next turn. I think I'm still dead, though. Just this Luminarch is killing me. Man. Okay, well, I have Luris for a turn, but the problem is I don't have any more white sources. So, let's see. I mean, that's a good draw, isn't it? I'm gonna lose a bunch of lands here, though, and then they could wasteland me. The Luris doesn't do anything, though, so. Choose 2 lands you control. Guess these two? This card, and card. Well, if I get wastelanded, it's real bad for me, but it's also real bad for them. So I could have played all my Moxen out, gotten them all countered, and then they would have had to discard down to 1. But I think that's actually worse for me. I kind of want them to like play something for 2 mana. Uh and that way I can play my my fucking Luris. But I am wondering if I need a 3rd Tundra. Is something that I am wondering. Shit. No! 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 Alright, well. Annoying. Alright, land? Pop. Okay, I have a Flooded Strand. Like, what a weird game. They have to pay for this, right? Which means I'm gonna get wastelanded. Oh, I'm dead at 2. Yeah, you're right. I mean, what the fuck you want me to do? I have no other options. Maybe I was wrong to, I don't know, like killing Deafening Silence seems correct to me, but I mean, I think whatever. What a weird game. Draw better? Thanks. I mean, you're not wrong, but I think losing that game is insane. I guess we did rip balance at the exact right time, but So if I had killed Chalice, would we have won that game? That's my only question, really, is if I had killed Chalice, would we have won? That kind of seems like the only... Did it just not reveal my Luris? I swear to God, no, this stupid lag. It just didn't reveal Luris. I mean, didn't you see it highlight? Did it not highlight? Okay, no, it did. It was okay, no, it was just lagging. Both players were able to reveal Luris. Okay. Never mind, we're fine. All right, this is no good. This is a turn 1 Luris. So, okay. So they can have 2 Mind Break traps in their deck if they're copying the exact list that I think they're copying, which they probably are. I'm gonna put away one of the forces. I think I'm gonna probe them as well. Maybe I'll play Lotus and Crypt first and then probe them. They didn't have shit. They had Deafening Silence, though. They have a Caracas? Yeah, okay. And they have On-Color Pearl, okay. Motherfucker. I guess I'm gonna start with Time Walk then. About to take an extra 3 damage here. Ooh, didn't take 3 damage. That's a good one. I don't think I'm gonna show them seal. Yeah, I probably could have got 3 life back, is what you're saying? Probably. I don't know. I was just like, I was like, "Oh, I'll play around Mind Break Trap," and then I just didn't have to, so I did anyways. I don't know. Yeah, I could have time walked off of the Rebide Lotus. This is true. Wait, what? They're not playing Caracas? Okay. Well, I think we're very far ahead now. I think I played this game pretty badly by not gaining 3 life and dealing them 3 damage, but my opponent made interesting choices as well. Deafening Silence. I think I just want to counter this Deafening Silence. I can't replay my Luris now, so that's a problem. If I force this, I can't replay Luris because I fetched double Volcanic Island. Strong play, Justin. Strong play, Justin. Man, I suck at Magic, huh? What am I doing? I wanted to replay my Seal of Fire, so I got a second Volcanic. I mean, I know why I did it, but we're not fucking playing Plateau in our deck, chat. We've got to cast 4 Expressive Iteration. We're not playing fucking Plateau. Jesus Christ. No, thank you. I drew the blue. All right, well, now I think we're going to lose this game. All right, maybe we're not going to lose this game, but it's going to be really annoying. So I can still play Luris off of Lotus. I just have to replay. Okay, so it didn't matter. It didn't matter. It didn't matter, chat. See, it didn't matter. They had Wasteland, so I actually played around them top decking Wasteland. I actually just played perfectly, and now it doesn't matter. I'm so smart. All right, well, that one is no good. That's a good top deck as well.
Six months.
Yo, thanks, Dave. Also, am I like playing really slow? Is that why this is happening? So there's no reason for me to play this Luris, right? Because it's just going to end up getting bounced at the end of turn anyways. Okay. What do I have left to fetch? I have a Tundra, a Vulcan, and an Island. My opponent can't really play creatures, though, because I have a Seal of Fire. I guess they can because they have a Caracas. No, that's not how this really works, right? Well, yeah, because I can't play my Lurrus with my actual mana, right? So if I Seal of Fire this thing, and then I play my Lurrus, I could rebuy Seal of Fire, but if they bounce my Lurrus, I can't replay my Lurrus. So I would replay my Lurrus, I would rebuy my Black Lotus. That's not how Deafening Silence works, chat. There's only one white source in the deck. Pretty sure I'm still supposed to make them pick it up. That's actually a white source. It will stop me from rebuying. Wow, that's really fucking good. I mean, then they're gonna draw another Wasteland, right? I guess that's. I mean, yeah. I don't. I was talking about basic lands. I wasn't really talking about Moxen, but they top decked the Stony Silence. This game is ridiculous. All right, now I need to draw Seal. This is decent, I guess. Can't believe my opponent top decked a Stony Silence again. That's their second top deck Stony Silence of the game. I'm gonna get all of my things killed by Kataki here. Oh no, they're gonna Thalia, sure. If I draw a Seal, maybe we win. Oh, now we're losing flips though. Oh, I think we're gonna just lose. This is so sad. This is the saddest game because they didn't draw any planes, right? They drew 0 lands. They just drew only Stony Silences. That's so crazy to me. I fucking hate playing against this. Oh man. That's insane to me. Well, they killed my mana crypt for me. That's nice, right? Well, it doesn't matter because they're clocking me too fast for my mana crypt to matter. I lost another flip, by the way. This is just so sad. I think we've just gotten so horrendously unlucky in this match. Needs to not go in my hand. What is happening? I know this works. I've done it already today. Here we go. I need this to go in my hand, this to go on top. What the fuck just happened? Nothing went in my hand? Man, I don't know if I want to play Magic. This is so tilting. Just nothing went to my hand. Did they go to the bottom? Did it go to midair? Where the fuck did it go? Don't care about a free challenge. I'm about to lose to fucking mono white random ass Magic the Gathering cards. And my deck's I don't know. My opponent actually drew no planes this entire game, by the way. just only drew spells. Oh, it went to the top of my library. Oh, that's a cool place for it to go. Oh, sick. That's just fantastic. Hilarious. Awesome. What the hell is this game? That's so fucked up. Ah! I'm having a great time, chat, by the way. This has kind of just been my whole week, though. So, how do I? Oh, to cast expressive iteration, hit undo some amount of times. Clicked 3 new targets. Evolved spell. 1 went bottom. 1, I presume, went to. Sorry, 1 went exile. 1, I presume, went to bottom. The 3rd went on top instead of into my hand. Now, to be fair, I'm 100% still going to lose that game, but it still tilts me. I'm gonna still write about it. Get my money back. Subject, expressive, iteration, bug. I don't know. Cool. Oh, first one of the day. I mean, I already lost that game, but even then, losing that match was a lot, right? That's crazy. Okay, so we're back, round 2. Gonna try to recover. Probably playing against Doomsday. I have a cat. Sure, this hand vibes. I guess this hand vibes. The one thing I do know is that Max won't cast Lavinia against, or won't cast Kataki versus me in Stony Silence, so we're gonna be okay. Yo, I just wanted to have a nice stream. I just wanted to have a nice stream. Why? I just wanted to like show off the new card, have a good time with chat. I just wanted to have some fun with the new Magic cards, but I don't know. Maybe I'm playing the wrong format, man, you know? Maybe maybe we should just play some standard or something. Yeah, become an arena streamer. There's no way they win, right? Unless they have Lotus in their hand. Please, no way you just one-shot me turn 1 here. No! Fuck, how is this deck fair? How is this deck remotely fair? Wait, what? Wait, why are we getting a turn? They just F6 by accident? What happened here? I mean, we can't beat Probe into Fluster anyways, but they don't have to play around shit. They know my whole hand. It means that they didn't put Ancestral on the top of their library and they instead put a Flusterstorm, is what it means. Free Fluster main, yeah. I give you fire just. Best deck in the format, baby! I hate people. Same, dude. People suck. All right, so what is the best way that we can beat my opponent who has lethal kill next turn and Flusterstorm? I don't fucking know. I mean, theoretically, we could play enough things that we could beat a Flusterstorm, but then I still have to draw something to counter something. I don't think that's necessarily true, Mike, because you have nut jobs like Matt who think that letting Doomsday Resolve is like your path to victory because you don't play win cons in your deck. You just counter all of their things and win. I could see myself getting lumped into the nut job category. All right, so I can't. So I'm gonna go with Lotus Ponder to start. I guess I could get Spell Pierced or something. So my goal here, my plan here is Ponder with Fetch, check what's going on. Then I have Ruby Iteration, one more blue still floating. I'm just getting my Lotus forced? So you had Force backup too? Wait. Whoa, 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 whoa. They had Force Daze and probably Fluster? So it was turn one Doomsday. Wait. Why the fuck did they? That can't be right. Wait. Why did they kill me? They should have just killed me. They had Daze backup. They clearly at least had Daze backup, and I don't understand why I'm getting to play my like. They're just letting me play so they can see me mold. They had force pitching Daze in addition. So what the hell is my best line? Is it just Expressive iteration then? Guess so. Well, let's see. If I Ponder, I can draw Pyroblast, but they have Fluster, so it doesn't really matter. Whereas with Expressive Iteration, I'm not actually drawing 2 cards, so that's not really helping me. I don't know. Let's cast this one. It's more fun. If they Fluster this, I think that would be wrong because I could have drawn Force for turn. Unless I played Flooded Strand and it wasn't in the 7 cards. Oh, that's interesting. Remora to hand. Pedal to the Crypt to the bottom. Pedal to exile. Cast. When do I start PT prep? When they give me an account. I don't own an arena account, and I don't plan to own an arena account, so I'm pretty useless because I'm gonna have like 2 weeks of testing. All right, so theoretically, I can draw into multiple Force of Wills by casting this Remora. That's the new plan. Oh, I could definitely. I was waiting to start playing standard until after the format like settled a little bit. I don't think it's worth it for me to like start playing standard right away. No dice, chat. Yeah, I mean standard on Modo is hard, but it's also that's being hard is a good thing. I'm gonna play standard on Modo when I can. Geez, I guess I only have 4 forces in my deck, so it's pretty unlikely that I'm just surprised I got to play any magic in this game when my opponent's starting hand was just turn 1 Doomsday kill with Force and Daze backup. I don't know what I was missing that they didn't want to stack a pile that gave them the opportunity to win right away. Don't really understand, but I have 2 more Flusters in my board, so that's always nice. Cool. Oh, I don't think I was going to play too many leagues. I think I was just going to play a bunch of challenges, maybe. I'm not really sure. I don't know what my plan was. I thought this time for the Pro Tour I'd do more testing, but then I realized Arena sucks, and I don't really want to play Arena. I don't want to make an Arena account, so I don't know. What's a vintage player to do? Yeah, but that's just like my experience in general recently. I don't know. I understand that's like a high end of variance, not me, but what was my last experience? I got my arena account. Well, I played a bunch of Gruul on standard because it was the best deck and it was going to continue being the best deck. So I played a bunch of Gruul on Magic Online and standard. Went pretty okay. Um, so then I just stole the best Gruul list I could find from a testing group, and then on Arena, when I got my Arena account, I just jammed different historic decks until I found one I liked. I liked the Blue White Auras deck, which ended up being the worst possible choice for the historic tournament because it had like an overall win rate of 30% or something insane. I actually did okay with the Gruul deck. I think 2 wins, 2 losses or something. And then I just did not win a single game with the historic deck and did not make day 2. Oh. I mean, again, I'm gonna probably just play some standard on Magic Online, pick the best list I can find, and then when I get my account 2 or 3 weeks out, I'm gonna jam historic and try to find something I like. This time, I'm instead of something that I think is good, I'm gonna try to find something I like, something combo-y and powerful. Why did I take? Because Azurius won all the matches I played, and Orzhov did not. So I picked Azurius. I thought it was better at the time. Um, it just didn't end up going very well at the PT. I think I played like 100 matches of Azurius auras, and I had like won most of them or something. But I mean, those are versus like not the strongest competition, so it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, like I said, the historic is going to be a completely different format from the last time I played a game of historic. So I the problem is historic can only be played on arena, and I will not be playing arena until they give me an account because it's just not worth my time or my money to make an arena account and try to stock it for historic. So like no matter what happens, I'm gonna go into the Pro Tour with like suboptimal testing, and that's just something that I live with because I mean I qualified playing vintage and I play vintage every week. That's what we do, you know. I'm like that's just I'm handicapped pretty heavily going into that tournament, and yeah. I mean I'm not very likely to qualify for the Pro Tour. Right? I think I got fairly lucky to qualify for the Pro Tour twice playing vintage. There's only like 3 slots a year from vintage or like 5 slots a year from vintage that go to pro tours. It's like very unlikely that I'm going to be the one who gets the open slot every year. It just so happens that I've done fairly well recently in those exact qualification tournaments. So yeah, I'm hearing some pretty cool things about historic right now and the degeneracy that's happening. So It's all about spiking tournaments. Yep. Like I spiked the PTQ and challenge weekend, and then the weekends following it, I've gone 0-7. So if you had flopped those weekends around, I would have a bunch of challenge wins, but who gives a shit? Because I, 0-2 dropped the Pro Tour qualifier. So PO isn't great. Are you talking about vintage or historic? I think PO was a great choice for the PTQ weekend. Exactly the PTQ weekend. I thought the metagame had just lined up to a place where I was very happy to register PO. And you'll hear Bryant say the same thing. Bryant got ninth at the PTQ with PO and like a very classic 4-color PO list as well. So I actually think that it was PO. The way I think of PO nowadays is I think that PO is very similar to Dredge. If people come prepared to beat Dredge or PO, they will just crush it. And so you can't really play PO every weekend and expect to do well. You should be playing PO the weekend that people don't expect someone to play PO. And that's how I think it works in my mind. I really think it's I think PO. People don't like to associate other decks to be like Dredge, but I do think that's how it is. Like PO is such a fragile and exploitable path to victory that if someone wants to beat PO, it's very easy for them to do so. It's not like Doomsday where you can try to beat Doomsday, but it's not really going to do very much, and then they're just going to murder you anyways. Ah, duress. Is it better to probe? The problem is I want to like brainstorm, but I'm never gonna be able to hide enough cards. So is it better to misstep? Probably. If they had a second misstep to back that up, I'd look pretty silly, but even then, it's not the biggest end of the world here. Maybe I'm just supposed to take the 2 damage. Probably am just supposed to take the 2 damage so that I just to play around their one misstep. Yeah, that was probably a bad play. I think just like the only card that really punishes you there is misstep, but there's no reason to give them like you just take the 2 damage, so there's 0 cards that punish you there. I don't know. I don't think people look at PO like I do. I don't think people put PO in that kind of like metagame called dredge kind of pile of decks, but I really do think it is. Some decks just are utilizing very fragile systems to do their thing. Always a delicate balance in vintage because theoretically you need very pointed cards to beat dredge and you need very pointed cards to beat shops, and then you need 3 different set of pointed cards to beat blue, shops, and dredge. The problem for PO is that the cards that you need to beat shops and blue both overlap on PO, and so PO you don't need. You can just have a meta game where if you're focused on beating shops in blue, guess what? You're also focused on beating PO twice as much. So it makes it so you can really only play PO in meta games where people are like, oh, over indexed on dredge hate, oh, over indexing on creature removal, that kind of thing. I always thought the PO Breach hybrid was a bad deck because you made your Breach deck worse. I always thought that was a really poor way to go about deck building because you are just making Breach, which is not a fragile deck, but not a robust deck either, somewhere in between, and you're making it super fragile. How has iteration been? It's been okay. Um, it's been really good outside of this tournament so far, but this tournament hasn't really done very much. I definitely think that there's a place to play iteration in like a big blue shell with a bunch of Moxen. It was also bugged for one time that we used it. This is true. I think that I'm supposed to let this resolve and try to win on the stack, but I can't beat double Oracle. So we probably can't do that. I think the iteration card is pretty powerful, and I'm going to definitely keep testing it. I guess I should have used the Tolarian Academy so I can continue representing Pyroblast. Whoops. Yeah, I'm playing fairly loose today, too. So I really haven't been able to reel myself back in the last, like, 2 weeks. I think I've played far below what I think is an acceptable level to play if I want to be considered winning, so... Well, I think when someone casts Doomsday and your hand is forced double fluster, you should always be asking, can I just let the Doomsday resolve and maybe I can win through that? Use their Doomsday as a win con. But the problem is, if my opponent builds a double Thassa's pile, I'm just not going to be able to win, so... I really want to brainstorm, but I don't have the cards necessary to do so. What I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the Luris in my hand. That way I'll have an additional card to brainstorm later. I had this really weird bug that happens. I don't know if it happens to anybody else, but for some reason, like I can't F6. Like I'm hitting F6, I'm hitting F2, but none of the keys are registering until I like hit OK, and then if I hit F6, it works. I don't know if that happens to anyone else, but it really annoys me because I'm normally I hit F2 and F6 is my way to go through things. But maybe I'm just like not my click is not focused. Like my window in Windows is not focused or something. Something like that. Demonic Tutor. That's fine. I'm going to be really sad if I have to fluster here because I do want to keep this fetch so that I can brainstorm. Does this mean that they're trying to Ancestral? What's going on? Or are they just setting up another Doomsday? I'm still super far from casting this Luris, so it's much more likely that I brainstorm. All right, I'm definitely not going to cast anything. Just wait. I do need to find some way to kill my opponent. I'm not 100% sure what it's going to be, but now they can cast Ancestral and pay for a fluster. But the trick here is I can cast Brainstorm to up the storm count and then fluster. Oh, they're just going to go for an Oracle kill? That's fine. We're definitely okay with that. They went for Demonic for Consult, which we are just super well equipped to deal with right now. So if they had already resolved like this Thassa's Oracle, I think we could have let the Doomsday resolve, but... Alright, so I think an end of turn Brainstorm makes sense here. I have the ability to put cards back and whatnot. I don't see Luris as the way we're gonna win this game. It's just gonna. I kind of just want to use it as an extra card. Lavinia seems fine. And fetch a white off of this. So I think we just want to put back Luris Island and fetch them away. I guess I theoretically could hold on to the Luris, but I just don't think we need it. Yeah, I mean, if Luris was a blue card, it'd be a nightmare scenario for a lot of people, I think. Yeah, I'm not really ready to play that Magic the Gathering card. Oh, I guess I should have, because then I could have hard cast forces. Kind of interesting. So if I had played Mana Crypt and used red white, then I would have hard cast force. Yeah, that's probably better. Didn't really think about that. So I think here I'm just going to keep using these Fluster Storms because they're just so good. So maybe I'll play this Mana Crypt next turn then, just to... I don't know. I was worried about playing Mana Crypt because currently I can't attack through Thassa's Oracle. Necra. Well, now I have to Force Pitch Force, don't I? I guess I don't theoretically have to, but seems like it'd be a poor choice not to. All right, well, I've got rid of my Luris, and I don't have anything else going for me here. I have a 2/2, and my opponent has a 1/3. Kind of an interesting game of Magic. Time Walk. Guess so. Black Lotus. We'll play that. Now I'm definitely going to hold this. All right, well, I have nothing else going for me, so if my opponent's last card is Doomsday, seems really bad for me. Doesn't seem like my opponent's last card is Doomsday. I think we could have played this game slightly more clean. 1/3 versus 2/2. Neither player can do anything. But if we draw, we have 4 POs to draw. My opponent has 3 Doomsday, but also a million cantrips. I guess all of our expressive iterations are great draws right now. They went bottom. That's good. We actually have more hits than a normal PO deck, I think, because of 4 expressive iterations. Scroll, yeah, it's a good one. Problem is, can we beat Fluster? Not sure. Maybe with Mana Crypt we can. I don't know. I have a PO build that has expressive iterations, and for the problem is when I have Tinker, I'm really big on having Demonic Vamp and the True Ancestral. Oh boy. I'm really big on having Demonic, Vamp, and Will in my deck when I play Tinker Citadel. And I don't really think that Expressive Iteration lends itself super well, unless I guess if I was Grixis and I cut Mentor. There's like a ton of different ways to build it. I don't know for sure. All right, well, I can't get Ancestral because I can't... If they drew a misstep, let me get this PO... Play this. Storm count is 3. Storm count would be 4. Pay 5. Blue. I guess I can pay for a Fluster, right? All right, sure. Maybe I'm supposed to wait, but I don't know. You definitely can build an expressive iteration deck, but I felt like this deck was better at using expressive iteration because you have way more zeros, right? So you have Petal, Bauble, and you have a bunch of 1-drops as well. Lantern, Remora. I just felt like the expressive iteration, the PO, like I have this list, I guess. I felt like this list was much worse at using expressive iteration than my list that I'm playing today. All right, so they did end up drawing Flusterstorm there, and I do have to crack my Lotus to draw 2. Still think it's worth it, though. Maybe I should have held on for one more turn. I wasn't really expecting them to draw Ancestral off the top there, but maybe I need to stop and reevaluate a little bit better. That's not bad, though. That worked out pretty well. Don't think there's any reason for me to play this Mana Crypt right now. So now I have Force for a Doomsday. I probably, I'm not sure I'd let Doomsday resolve. It seems like a recipe for disaster. But if I don't get smacked here, oh no, that doesn't work, friend. Been a while since there's been a Lavinia in play, huh? Oh, mismatching Underground Seas. All right, so now we get to use Expressive Iteration, which is fantastic. Big fan. I guess I don't need to actually play that first. Well, I can hardcast Force if I play all this. Maybe I should be playing around Mindbreak Trap. Ah, Justin! How many Mindbreak Traps is Max on recently? Just play into Mindbreak Trap. They have Hardcast Trap, guys. I guess it's fine if they had cast Hardcast Trap here. Alright, so I want and bottom exile. I think Expressive Iteration looks real good. I don't know what you guys think. What do you guys think, chat? That looked pretty good to me. Play a Remora. It's not easy to cast, but our deck is really good at casting hard cards to cast. So Mox Opal can do that. Is this game 3 or is this game 2? I think this is game 2. Yeah, I definitely haven't won a game, right? I wish this thing wasn't a 1-3. How about a 1-1 or a 1-2? Probe. What do you got? Oh. That's not gonna work, friend. Max is doing a lot of learning today. Or relearning. I bet it's more relearning. I have a pretty high opinion of how Max plays, but yeah, so they played it for 0 so that they could pay for the Remora, but the problem is if you pay it for 0, the Lavinia counters it. Why? Yeah. Are they gonna pay 5 or pay 4 so I don't draw a card? Let's find out together. No, all right. I didn't draw an extra card. All right, Dark Ritual Flusterstorm. Wow. So this kind of goes back to what Not Me was saying. Maybe we were supposed to play Mana Crypt that other turn. Kind of crazy, actually. All right, so this game is over. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Expressive Iteration looked pretty good there. All right, one more time. I like how we used Luris as an extra card for our Brainstorm. Get out of here, stupid cat. No one wants you. Straight into the deck with you. That was cool. I don't know. It looks really powerful. Every time I cast it, it feels pretty good. And the cool part about this specific deck that has 13 0 drops is that you can cast this even if you've already used your land drop, and you're still likely to be able to play the extra card even in the early game, which is nice. We'll probably, even if we lose this next game and go 0-2, we probably won't drop from the tournament just so we can get some more reps in. Lucky chat, you get more content tonight. I give you fire, just take it to myself. I'm not even saying the right words. I signed into law the America. Oh, thanks, Biden. I appreciate that. uh, $2,000 to all Americans. I'm pleased to inform you direct payment of not $2,000 was added. Thanks. Thanks. I appreciate that. All right. I have a cat. There's a hand. Sure hope we draw Mox Opal or land. Oh boy. Oh boy. Kept a 6-carder. All right. I mean, Black Lotus would be a good one too. Any blue source is really what we want so that we can play PO on turn. Gonna get our jet dazed, chat. Gonna get our jet dazed. All right, baby. Show me Tolarian Academy. I guess that would still get our jet dazed. No, we played. Show me. All right. I don't think I'm allowed to utilize my blue mana this turn. Like, I could scroll for force, but I guess I can look at my top card. I should look at my top card. Another PO. Oh, it's so bad. I still don't think I'm allowed to do it, though. I'm just so dead. Oh, I think I have to merchant scroll for a force. But then I'm just putting myself dead to daze and and everything. Yeah, but then I have nothing going for me. Right? Like, I'll have force of will, but I won't have any mana to pay for daze. Hey, yeah, I don't think we're allowed to do it. We really did need to draw land on that turn, I think. If we had drawn land or opal, we'd be in pretty good shape. Theo's terrible magic card. I mean, that's a given. That's a given. But my Doomsday opponent resolved an Ancestral on turn 1, so we're pretty unlikely to win that game no matter what deck we're on with what hand, so kind of isn't a huge deal. I wish if we could end of turn Merchant Scroll, then I think we'd be in a better spot, but best bad card played in Vintage? Maybe. My opponent is digging. We really need to draw land or opal for turn. Pretty imperative, I think, for us to even have a chance. I do think if we draw something like Tolarian Academy, we might be in decent shape. But Doomsday's pretty busta, so. Opal it is, okay. Alright, I don't think I'm going to be on POing on my turn at all. That seems like a misplay. So I'm going to just pass, hold open Pyrofluster, look at an end step PO. Alright, well, now we're playing Magic. Now we're definitely playing Magic. That's for certain. No, not probe. Please, please don't look at my hand. Oh, duress. Yikes. So they just take Fluster and kill me? I guess I could theoretically cast Pio right now. But I would lose Fluster versus Fluster. I guess I could just tap them out with Fluster. Isn't it better to tap them out and have them take Pyro or Scroll or something? And then we can still end of turn Pio? I think so. I mean, you're buying time. You're buying tempo. I don't think it, like, we have cards. We don't care if we get 2 for 1. What we really need is time. Like, what's my opponent gonna do? I have 3 insane draw spells in my hand. Yeah, but I'm gonna die anyways. I mean, I still have Pyro. I can still Pyro their draw spell. This is the exact same thing. They would just take Fluster, but then they have mana. I, I don't really know. Like, this is kind of the exact same thing that you're saying. I think this is much better for us, though. If they let this go, cool. It was the same thing, and we're down 1 mana, but we would have gotten our Fluster taken anyways. And if they pay for it, that means they paid 3 mana to duress our hand, and they got 2 cards, but the second card didn't matter because the second card here doesn't matter. They're also tapped out. I mean, I'm probably gonna get dazed if I PO, but I do think that after this resolves, if they give me time, I should probably just PO. All right, they took a PO, which is fine. All right, in response to this cycle, though, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna snap this off. They know my hand, so all right. So they had Force Fluster, but they didn't get to use their Fluster because they were tapped out. And then they go to my turn. And now I have Merchant Scroll Ancestral. What do I do? I have exactly 5 mana. 3 cards in hand. I could just go like that. Oh, maybe the F problem is when I get my Luris. Then I lose focus on the thing. This might have been too conservative. It's definitely possible. But I have Force plus Pyroblast up, and I have a fallback plan. If we have a battle here and I win the battle with Force Pyro, and then I play my Luris and play a Bobble, kind of seems like a win. I mean, if they have another Fluster, obviously we get got here. Scroll for PO. Not unreasonable. All right. So if they have a draw, I mean, I have a Pyro, so I shouldn't die. But I think we're gonna die anyways. Like I mean, they look like how does any reasonable deck beat this? They've had Duress, Double Fluster, Force of Will, Ancestral, and their combo is like super compact and takes like 2 cards, 1 card even. I don't really know I don't really see how decks are supposed to compete with this. But what do you know? We didn't even have to play any lands this game. The only reason we're in this game is we forego lands. uh, Doomsday is something else. Doomsday is just something else. All right, so they have one card left after this Doomsday. If we draw a PO off the top, only 2 in our deck, it'd be pretty good. They're putting a Duress in their pile. I guess I have to figure out their whole 6 cards, don't I? Get the notepad out. I need Duress. Oracle. I mean, it is. Well, what else you want me to say? It's just the best deck. Duress, Oracle, not Lotus. Double Oracle. I spelled Oracle 2 different ways. Gotta love it. Duress, Oracle, Fluster number 1, Fluster number 2, Fluster number 3. Daze 1, Daze 2. Neither Mox. No, one of the Mox. Sapphire. What about forces? 1 force, 2 force, 3 force, time walk, crap, 4 force. Oh, Saft in play. Yeah, true. Ancestral Gush. 1 Gush. I mean, it doesn't really matter what we're doing here because we're just gonna die anyways. But we might as well play correctly, right? Wow, they brought in so many fatal pushes. 2 fatal pushes. What else we got? Any Underground Sea gamers? Hey, is there actually an Underground Sea in this pile? Yes. No. It's down here. Oh, Lotus is away. Duress, Oracle, Gush. I already counted all the flusters. I don't see a negation. 1, 2. There's already 4 Street Wraith in the yard. I'm not actually sure. Dispute's already in the yard. What 2 cards are we missing? I mean, it could just be a negation, but why would they play negation? It doesn't do anything for them. Unless their last, maybe their last card in hand is just Force of Negation. Possible. Doomsday 2, Doomsday 2, 3. Actually, yeah, their last card in hand is Doomsday. I only see 3 Doomsdays. 3 Doomsdays. So their last card in hand is actually second. Wait, really? Interesting. I mean, this could theoretically be it, but why would you get negation? Hmm. I don't know. Doesn't really make sense. Yeah, that sounds about right. It was about time we drew a land, you know? So their first card is going to be Duress on the Pyroblast. They know about the Pyroblast. So unfortunately, well, maybe what I can do is I can just go... Oh, I forgot I have black mana here. That's kind of nice. All right, so yeah, I can get a Tundra. No, we have to use our... I guess we didn't have to use our opal. Unfortunate. I thought we had to use our opal for red mana, but we definitely didn't have to. So that was pretty shit. I fucked that up. Because we definitely could have played Luris off of opal so that we could bobble, look at our own library. Now I guess we just look at their library. The rest is on top. That's what we figured. So we're going to lose our Pyroblast. Maybe we should not have actually activated it this turn. I don't think they're winning this turn. Unless their last card in hand was really good. Oh, no. No, we could have fetched for a Volcanic. That is so sad. And now they have to take time. Well, unless they win. No, they must win on the spot. Their last card is Preordain into Gush, and we lose. So their last card was Preordain, which I didn't count the 4 Preordains. Preordain, Gush, and we lose. All right, so there's nothing we could fucking do because it's Doomsday. Why did I expect that we actually had fucking counterplay? That wouldn't make sense. I don't know where the 4th Doomsday is. 1, 2... I only see 3 Doomsdays, so I don't know. Maybe they cut a Doomsday. I don't really know. Why did I expect we had counterplay? That's so fucking dumb of me. If we had drawn Flusterstorm off of our bauble... So the hard thing to know is, I guess we made a mistake there. We could have had a second look for a Flusterstorm, right? That's the one thing we could have done. Why was Doomsday in the pile? What would that do? They had to have cut a Doomsday, right? Because their last card in hand was Preordain, and they chose not to cast Preordain because they knew we had a Pyroblast. If I counter both Oracles, he can put them back. But they know I have a Luris in hand. They would be dead to the Luris. That doesn't make any sense. I don't think you should build your pile like that. I don't know. Whatever. Doomsday's Doomsday. All right. Round 3. Vintage Challenge. We're 0-2. We're dead. Very, very dead. Another powerful wizard down here in the no wins bracket. Very powerful wizard down in the no wins bracket. So I don't know what they're up to. I wonder if they're on Ephemerate or Oath. I mean, they might be playing combo Oath because it's the Oath bug is finally fixed. It's possible. It's possible. Well, I have a cat and no blue sources. Quick chat. Vote for the other team. They kept 7 and I had no blue. Can't good though. Man, Pyroblast is so bad at BO. Yeah, combo Oath. Just as I predicted. Are we getting turn 1 Oath with... I just wanted to play some Magic today. Should have kept my 7-card hand, chat. Had a Force of Will in it. What was I thinking? Should have kept the Force of Will. It was just a misplay on my part, right? Just dead. We're just dead. This always hits Grizzlebrand in this deck. Hi, no props. Hi, Pimmon. How's everybody doing? Hopefully better than me. Hmm. So our opponent's on an interesting version of Oath, probably. Grizzlebrand, Yogg-Will based combo deck. Like this, I think. Pretty reasonable. Don't want to play Lavinia because it's going to trigger their Oath of Druids. Don't want to play Seal of Fire because there's nothing really to kill besides my own creatures. Pyroblast isn't the greatest against their deck. It's a bunch of green enchantments and tendrils. We don't need an island because they're not attacking our mana base. I just trimmed an iteration because I think we would rather use these other spells. I think Flusterstorm is better at protecting us from Tinker and combo-esque cards. We have a Containment Priest for their Oath of Druids. Seal kills Oath of Druids, Time Vault, and Key, and Soul Guide Lantern protects us from Yawgmoth Will's combo. I think Pyro is pretty unplayable in this matchup. Like, if assuming opponent is on something like Combo Oath, like theoretically it's just Oko. Like the problem is you're not pyroblasting anything that's super relevant. Don't think Pyroblast is super good here. I do want to have one in there, I think, but I don't really want more. Like if I don't even think Flusterstorm is that good, but it's more likely for a Flusterstorm to counter a Tinker than a Pyroblast. Yeah, I keep that. I guess this hand is fairly weak to Force of Vigor, but don't really know if that's a good enough reason to not do the stuff we're doing. Um, hmm. My opponent's deck isn't very likely to play Negation. Actually, it's just Mindbreak Trap, but I don't really think I care enough to play around Mindbreak Trap here. I am astounded that they did not Mindbreak Trap Mana Vault. That is insanity to me. I don't think there's a single game I would ever just not Mindbreak Trap Mana Vault. I think that's insane. I just don't understand. I represented Opal Jet. Like, this is turning on my Opal, giving me a Pio mana. How can you not trap this? Brainstorm lock myself? I guess I don't need to brainstorm lock myself. So peculiar to me. I want to slam priest. I want them to invest mana in oath. I want to be able to protect it with fluster. All of those kind of things. All right, I'm gonna brainstorm lock myself. Same. Yeah. Reset. Hello, hello, hello. It's a brutal day. Brutal day. No. All right, so next turn I get to put the cat in my hand. Everybody loves a good cat. I'm one short of playing cat. Flusterstorm looks pretty bad into Black Lotus. I got a cat. Get it. Yeah, I think it actually is the Luris that does the F6 bug where I can't F6 after I grab my Luris. That's what it is. Kind of an annoying bug, but what is my opponent sitting on? Just a bunch of Force of Wills? I mean, am I just supposed to hold then? I think so. Maybe they'll let it resolve so that they can turn on an Oath of Druids. Oh, they did not. I don't worth a shot, I guess. I don't know. Like I guess I have to wait for them to do. Like by the time they do something, though, I guess Pyroblast would have been a lot better than Flusterstorm right there. I'll have you know that. Kind of funny. I'm also like they also could have just tapped 5 mana and played Force of Will. I guess it wouldn't have been better than Flusterstorm because they actually pitched a mental misstep that we knew about. So never mind. Pyroblast would have been shit there. What am I saying? Guess I should have to untap that at some point, don't I? Yeah, I don't know. What are you question marking? My chat was debating the merits of Flusterstorm and Pyroblast in this matchup, and I told them I would rather have Flusterstorms. Alright, I guess I'll untap this shit. My opponent is doing... Oh, wait, they have red in their deck? Wild. Wild. Oh, dig through time? Oh, what the fuck? They... sorry. I fucked that up, chat. I had no idea no one had played spells this turn. Crazy. How do we recover? Guess we just don't. Whatever, man. I don't know. I'm kind of over it. Yeah. It kind of feels like to me. I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to just jam an ancestral there and hope they didn't have the. I mean, I guess I could have paid for a fluster of their own. Kind of just feels like they have pyro if they're gonna crack on red though. Means I'm very unlikely to resolve this ancestral. I think it's just so washed. Game is washed. It was a possibility that we could have baited. It's just like kind of hard to assume. Like they definitely have pyro. I guess now is like a decent time to just get a containment priest in and start baiting. Not a great draw, tell you that much. Don't see my avenue here. I mean, top deck better is definitely part of it. I wonder if playing this is wrong, right? Because if I no, it's intervening if. Never mind. I don't know. I think I need to draw better. It's kind of weird, like now's a pretty good time to be drawing paradoxical outcome in comparison to the other times we drew paradoxical outcome, right? Or how about those 4 expressive, I guess it's only 3 because we sideboarded one. One of those 3 expressive iterations. I'd kill for one of those. Let me choose my best 2 cards. Can play any of them. Okay, yeah. That's not a bad one. But if they have double Pyroblast, they probably do. I mean, they have 6 cards in hand. What else could they possibly have besides just a bunch of counter magic? I guess they could have like the tendrils that they drew. Maybe they drew a Grizzlebrand. This kind of seems like optimistic thinking. Maybe they're not actually on Combo Oath and they're actually on just Maharu Oath. Possible. I mean, it's much, much harder to cast than Nice Whisper. Yeah, maybe they actually might just be on Maharu Oath then. I kind of misinterpreted what they were playing. I'm very surprised to see them play this. I guess I should have played game 1 out a little bit more. I think that Pyroblasts are much better than Flusterstorms in this matchup if they are on Maharu Oath with 4 Okos. So I get my Ancestral countered, and then I snap Pyroblast Oko. Kind of the best we can do, right? My Ancestral gets Pyroblasted, and then I snap Pyro their Oko. Yeah, I wouldn't go and like the problem is like I don't think all PO decks want to play red, but if you are already playing red, it seems like a pretty decent card to be playing. So now if they do have a removal spell for Containment Priest, they can trigger their oath. They are getting beat down by the 2 power. 2 power. Talking about 2 power. Damn. Sorcery, baby. Alright, well, it's going to get Pyroblasted, but we tried our best, I guess. No! Nice Whisper would be so much better here. Just going to get Pyroblast. Oh, never mind. They wanted to kill the 2 power. Alright, we have a chance. 2 power is too many power. Aya's Blessing. You got it. All right. This game's going fairly well for the amount of mana we have in play, to be perfectly honest. I think we've been... Okay, so I think we start with Iteration. See if they still have another Pyroblast. Which they did. They had the third Pyroblast. And then we get them. We beat up a Fluster. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Nope, we can't beat a Fluster. Ah, fucking care anymore. Battle. I thought we could beat a Fluster, but we're actually 1 mana off. I don't know. I'm gonna play into Mind Break Trap, get Mind Break Trap. I'm gonna play into Flusterstorm, get Flusterstorm. So maybe I should just listen to myself and not play into those Magic the Gathering cards. Maybe. Well, maybe the thing is, Bob, maybe we should be playing a Grixis. Maybe we should be playing Grixis PO. I drew an Oko? You come on. No, come on. Drew an no, Drew. That's the only card that matters. That's the only card that matters. All right, I'll draw Sprite Dragon. Oh, no. I just can't win. What the fuck is that shit? Chat. Chat. Someone send help. Please, someone just send help. I need help. You see, I thought maybe opponent had like hit some bricks, drew a Grizzlebrand or something. And it turns out they just had 4 Pyroblasts. My bad. I was wrong. Incorrect. I have no outs. I'm actually dead here. No, that's not true. I still have a third PO, right? Another Oko. Ooh. You know what I'm going to do? Know what's going to happen? I'm going to draw Flusterstorm. That's what's going to happen. I'm actually not convinced that a PO gets me out of this game because I have to attack into a Grizzlebrand with a big enough creature where the Grizzlebrand die. Yeah, I need to like draw my whole deck and play a Sprite Dragon and then... All right, so if I draw PO and I draw my whole deck... Wait, the Snapcaster's already gone. I probably can't even draw my whole deck. Yeah, I think we're dead. This would have been so good another turn ago. I think I've drawn just the wrong cards. I mean, I guess this would have gotten Pyroblasted, so maybe it's irrelevant. It's the fourth Pyroblast would have countered this, so that's just to be expected, really. All right. We need one of my 2 remaining paradoxical outcomes here. Survey says... That's the one. Yes, that one. 8 cards down. All right, I lied, chap. Sorry. We will not be playing a full tournament today. Yeah. Well, what did we learn? Let's at least take something out of this experience. Together, what did we learn? Did we like Luris? Yeah, Luris was fine. Luris was okay. Did we like Expressive Iteration? Yeah, Expressive Iteration was pretty good for us, right? Like it was not bad. Um did we like Pio? No, Pio sucked. Pio was real bad. That card was quite poor today. Did we like Remora? Not as much. Seal was good. Soul Guy didn't end up being good because we didn't really play against decks I was good against. Overall, I don't feel like we learned very much. I feel like we just got wiped off the floor by 3 different opponents. I played pretty bad, so that didn't help. That definitely didn't help. But I don't think I played so badly that if I were like on top form, we would have won any of our matches. So kind of hard to say. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you're still watching YouTube after the last 4 videos have gone up and I haven't won a single match in all of them, I appreciate that. Thank you. Sometimes we win and sometimes we just can't win a fucking game.